there, Lady Val here, and I'm back today continuing on with my January design team project, which is an envelope journal. And yesterday I did kind of a quick video showing you the industrial grunge kit by Mandy at SunflowersAndDors Etsy shop. And I also was showing you how I put the envelopes together. I have a lot of different colors and sizes and shapes of envelopes, and I put them together and covered some of the pages. And today I'm going to come back and decorate. So this is going to be the covers. I'm not attaching the covers right now because I'm going to do that last. So there's this one, which was the envelope from my recent anniversary card from my husband, which was, you know, all it has is one little word on it, Val, that's me, and this other craft paper envelope. So those are going to be my back and front cover. So I'm just going to put those aside for now. So this is what I showed in the video yesterday. So this is just the base decoration with the kit, the industrial grunge kit. So there's this one envelope that I put some papers on. Some of the envelopes I'm not covering completely. I will do some decorating. And this one is actually covered, but it's kind of a plain paper, so it doesn't really look like it's covered. And, you know, some smaller envelopes here. This, I put a little fabric on it. I have some ticking that I had in my stash, so I just put a piece of ticking on there. Then there's a couple, some I have not decorated yet. This is actually upside down. I just noticed that. When you turn this around, because it's got the little thumb notch at the top. It's a little hard to tell right now when it's not decorated which way is up and which way is down. So these are actually coin envelopes. This one and this one. They're large coin envelopes. And they're, you know, kind of nice colors on their own for a grungy type of journal. So, and then there's another one left to decorate. This is a little pocket here. So I left this one open for decoration. Then we have this one. This was also a coin envelope. And then when you flip it over, we've got some more. We've got, this is the back of one of the coin envelopes. And this was actually two envelopes that I kind of glued together so we could have a little double pocket here. And then this is a little tiny envelope that makes a little pocket. And then we have this bigger one, which I have not finished yet. And then the main big pocket has the opening at the top here for a large tag. So that's what we have so far. There are plenty of areas to decorate yet and plenty of tags and things to put in the journal and to also put some papers in. So I'm probably going to be putting those papers in here in the middle, you know, attaching them on this side. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, but the other part of what I'm doing, let me get some of this out of the way. It took me all morning to cut out some of the bits getting ready for today's video. I'm not a big planner when it comes to videoing. I don't plan ahead when I decorate or do things, but what I did was I cut out some things from the kit. I'm also going to incorporate Mandy's, another of Mandy's kits, which is a, what the heck is it called? Lost my train of thought here. It's about something in days. I'm going to have to look that up. Good grief, I can't believe I forgot that. I've totally drawn a blank. Hopefully it'll come to me before the end of the video. Anyway, it's a kit with lots of older time video papers in it, so I had to cut a lot of that out, and here they are, some of the big papers. So I'll just show you some of those. And there's some ledger paper in here, and so I'm going to be incorporating that kit with the decorating. So that's what's in store today. So I'm going to bring some of these smaller pieces that I have, because I did kind of come along as I was cutting them out. I'm going to put these bigger ones off to the side. And if we need those, we can grab it out. Okay. Throw that in the trash. Here we go. This is also all some little bits and tags and things. So the first thing, and I didn't ink any of these, so I'm going to be doing some inking here on camera. So I want to first cover this one page here that I didn't get time to finish yesterday, before I had to start cooking dinner. Gosh, this family dinner just gets in the way of crafting sometimes. Okay. That's going to go on there like that, but I have some, because it has red in it, I have this washi tape that I want to use on the sides, because it has these little, sides on the envelope. So what I want to do is put a little strip of this down each side, and this is really heavy-duty washi tape, so I'm not going to put any ink on it. I mean, any glue on it. Jeez, I'm really not doing well with my thoughts and words today. So I want to cut around that up here at the top. Just take a little snip off the corner here. Okay. And do the same on the other side. This has reminded me, it's kind of steampunky, but steampunk and industrial grunge are kind of go together. The industrial time period stretches quite a ways, all the way into the beginning of the 20th century, through the 1800s, some of the late 1700s even. And so it takes in a lot. A lot of time periods, so there's a lot to work with. Okay, I think that's going to work just fine. I made this just a teeny bit too long, so I'm going to pull that up and cut a little bit off. Okay, there we go. And again, I didn't put that on very straight, so I'm going to trim. There we go. Okay, I'm going to take my little make sure I have this. Yeah, this is right side up, so we're going to do it this way. my Barely Arts glue that I've had for ages. I'm trying to use up all my glues that I've had sitting around forever. So I thought, well, I've actually had this Barely Arts glue literally for a couple of years. Never opened it because I got, you know, my favorite glue is the Beacon 3-in-1. Once I discovered that one, I kind of quit using the wetter glues. You know, I personally like the 3-in-1 because it doesn't warp your papers, where some of these other ones tend to do that. So that's just a personal preference, definitely. Of my ink and kind of ink this up a little bit over here just to give it a little interest. Okay, now that gives us another pocket there. Okay, I also have these little embellishments that I've picked up along the way. And I'm going to pull out some of these things, like there's a little Royal typewriter. A key. Let's see, what does that say? Good question. I actually like that. That's older even than this one, so I think I like that one better. Looks like we have a ticket. Just pulling out some things that I think might work and decorating this. And I do believe these are stickers. And I'm trying to stay within the color scheme here of some of the papers. I think that'll do it for right now. Okay, I'm going to start with this. This actually was not part of the kit. This was actually the little card. I bought them at Hobby Lobby. They were the little place cards for dining. And they had the tiny envelopes and the tiny place cards. And I thought, oh, those will go great in some kind of a project. And so I ended up using it on this. So the envelope is there, and I just cut the place card down and made, you know, glued it on the outside for the decoration. So we have this. This is actually off of cardboard. I just pulled it off, and I just want to take a piece of that. Tear this bit off since it's curling. And I think I'm going to use a little bit of this gauze that I have. Just gonna take a look, cut a little piece off here. I am going to glue this down first. Yeah, I didn't, yesterday when I didn't film the whole thing of me choosing the envelopes, gluing the, envelopes down, because I figured y'all know how to glue things down and, glue papers on, just flat papers onto another paper. So I thought, well, don't think that will draw much attention. So I just did a quick little video to show you what the end result was. But today I thought, well, I would bring you along for a little bit of the decorating, so you might get some ideas. I'm not doing anything new and exciting, or it's just having fun, which is what junk journaling is all about. I do think these are stickers. I'm gonna try it anyway. I'm not very good at getting the backs off sometimes, but pretty sure these are stickers. I use a dull craft knife, one that, yes they are. Oh, I guessed right. Okay, there we go. I'm still going to put a little glue on the back, because I don't know how good the glue is on these. Never hurts to have an extra bit of glue. Okay, sorry I forgot my head in the frame there. Let's see what else we have here. There's all kinds of little bits and pieces in here. This says time. That sounds good to me. I try not to think about it too much, because if I think about it too much, and you've probably heard a lot of other creators say this, you just get bogged down in the thinking part. Yeah, so you've heard people say, don't overthink it. Well, that is so true. Don't overthink it. You can take some time, as we're putting the word time on here, to decide if that's right. And if it isn't, move on, pick something else. Okay, I also have, get these out because there's quite a few of them. I have these little faux wax seals. And I'm trying to find one that I think might go with this. That looks good. Now, let's see if I can get the backing off of this one. These are always a challenge. I see some people able to get them off in just no time at all. And I always envy those people, because it takes me time. That's why I don't usually use a lot of stickers when I do video, because I don't want to take the time to separate the back from the front. But woohoo, it worked. right side up. And I'm going to put that right there. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. I'm going to put these back in the little bag before they get all over the place. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And it all depends on how you want the flips to go. I could have put that, turned it the other way. And, you know, but it's really a matter of preference. It really matters not. Oh, this one, I didn't put that on there very straight from the other side. Let's trim that up a little bit. Okay, come on. There we go. Nope. Need to put a little glue on there. Came up, or else I didn't glue it down that well the first time. The one thing about like Bearly Arts versus the silicone glues, it does catch pretty quickly. The silicone glue, like the Bearly Arts, Jesus. I'm sorry, that was inappropriate. Gosh. Is that the silicone does take a little bit of time to really catch and hold, which in it for me is okay because sometimes I need that extra time to move things, and it's yeah. Okay, carrying on. All right, what else do we have here? I have this, these are actually, I don't know if you've ever used them, but they are the knee highs, the lace knee highs. And they're real inexpensive on, you know, a lot of places, and I just pick them up new and cut them up and use them as the lace in my junk journals. I have a couple different colors that I buy, and then I just put them in my stash, and when I need something like that, I'm all set. So that's where that comes from. Let's see. Okay, what are we going to put on here? I'm going to put that out of there so I don't keep moving it. I also have some tea bags in here. I just did a load of different kinds of tea bags. I have round ones, and I have square ones, and all different kinds. My husband, got to get the tea out. My husband is British, so he drinks a whole lot of tea. And I've started drinking some tea recently, just trying to. I don't drink as much water as I should, so my theory is if I drink tea, you know, it's going to be better than not having any, you know, not drinking enough fluids. So, oh gosh, didn't get all the tea out of that. Okay, so where is that typewriter? that way. I like to have that tea bag showing a little bit more. Yeah, I think that'll work. But I think I would like something else. Do some little inking on this, see how this looks. I think looks okay. Well, let's glue some of that down. Yeah, so it's been the weather has been a little bit nicer here. We got over the flooding. Our bridge is still closed, so we still have to detour around it. We're hoping that won't take 6 months this time like it did last time. They spent, when I see they, our little town spent $1 million to fix it so this wouldn't happen. And then the first big rain we have had since it was repaired, it floods again. So I don't know if the engineers are not figuring very well on how to keep that from doing that, or what the deal is, but I think with $1 million investment it shouldn't have flooded like it did again. But that's just me. They did not ask my opinion. They did not ask me how it should be done, so I guess I can't really complain. And since I have no knowledge in any of that, I guess it matters not. So we'll just have to see how it all goes. So we have had some, when I say nicer weather, it's not freezing, which is what it was the last couple of weeks. We still haven't had any snow though. I'm still very disappointed. I like to get my little snows. We don't get a lot. Rarely do we get a lot. We get a couple inches usually. We have had some big snowstorms in the past where we have gotten, feet of snow. However, those times are quite rare. But I love to see it snow. I love to watch it snow. But I do love to be in front of my fireplace when it's snowing versus out in it. I had my fill of that when I lived in a mountainous area when my kids were younger. I had to get out in it every day. I had to drive all the way down the mountain, quite a ways down the mountain to work every day. Had to make sure all the kids, all 4 of them, got off to school in various directions, and I even had to put my snow chains on. Even though I had 4-wheel drive, I would still have to put them on. I could manage to do that. I was good at it. 10 minutes, boom, those chains were on. We were out the door and down the mountain. And coming home, I would always laugh. I had a little Subaru. I'm still not able to get this darn thing off the back, as usual. Anyway, I had a little Subaru. And we called, when you live up in the mountains, and the skiers that come up and the people that come up to let their kids play in the snow and all that fun stuff, we call them flatlanders. So I would be coming home from work, and there would be flatlanders all over the place, stuck in the side of the road. They just didn't know how to drive in the snow and the ice. And me and my little Subaru would just be zooming around them, and you know, you don't stop to help anybody, because if you do, you get stuck. So you have to be kind of very selfish in that regard. So I would just manage to get up the hill, and I happen to live on the cold side of the mountain, because it didn't get the sun, so the snow and ice would stay on the ground, and you had to really know how to drive in that weather. This is not cooperating with me at all. Come on. The folks out there are getting tired of watching me try to get the backing off this thing. There we go. No, that's just the backing. Maybe this one's not perhaps this one isn't even a sticker. I think not. If it is, that's the layer off the back of the sticker. I don't think this one's a sticker. Well, don't I look foolish? I could have sworn these were stickers. Well, you know what? I'm not going to try to get it off. If it is a sticker, it's getting glued on. It only takes so long before you think, why am I sitting here doing this? Continuing to do the same thing, getting no results. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, living in the mountains was a challenging experience at times, but I never did regret it. I loved living in the mountains. It was a beautiful existence. I lived up there for 10 years. I did get snowed in one time. Now in the mountains, we did get feet of snow. But this one year, oh my gosh, we got so much snow. And my neighbor, came to make sure we were okay, because it was just my daughter and I at that time. And I'm going to put this little clip on here, because this really needs a little, I'll put an extra bit of glue under there, because I don't think I glued that part down underneath. And the tea bag, so I'm going to put a little clip on that to hold it for a second. Yeah, so I had some really good friends up there, and they always watched out after me, made sure that all was well, and they hiked over. They lived a couple miles from me, but they actually hiked over to make sure I was okay. And I thought that was really sweet. Now this is wallpaper tape, not wallpaper, but wallboard tape. And I did some projects the other day with jelly plates. And I used the wallboard tape to, make some designs in paint. So I had some of them left over, and I just let them dry. Now, at that time, I didn't take the backing off to use, at that time, because it's very sticky on the back. So I thought, well, I can use these in decorating, some of my projects. So I think I'm going to use this piece on here. I will probably cut that off, but for now let's see if I can get the backing off of this. Tell you, challenging times. This is such an old craft knife that it comes unscrewed. I have to constantly be tightening. Okay, I'm going to cut a little tip of that off. Pull it up a little bit. Still, of course I didn't get it straight. Not that it has to be really straight, but I would like it to be a little bit straighter than that. There we go. And of course the tip is stuck on my finger. I can get that off. There we go. Okay, somewhere in here I have some numbers. That looks good to me. Today, you know, I said I'm just going to be doing some decorating. Tomorrow I'm going to be putting hardware on here. I, you know, don't want the videos to get too long, so. Because I know people get bored, they have other things to do. Okay, yeah. I've actually gone 37 minutes. I think we're going to wrap this up. You know, I'm not a fast crafter, so I'll probably do some more decorating off camera and come back tomorrow and show you what I've done. And then we will start in with some hardware. So I'm going to end it right here, and like I said, I'll come back, show you what I've done off camera, and we'll go from there. Thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe and comment and all that good stuff, and I really appreciate you watching. So come back and see me tomorrow for more fun. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.